Welcome back to another Rusa Americanata episode, and we're at the new house cleaning again. And in this video, we want to talk about a couple of things. So one, we've run into our first major problem that we'll talk about in a bit. Two, we want to show you guys the first projects that we're going to work on ourselves without having to call a contractor. Three, we want to talk about how to turn utilities on because it is the 25th of October and we bought the house on the 7th and we just finally got electricity today. So we just want to give people some tips on how to avoid some of the issues and delays that we've had. Also, we've had some other interesting things happen today, all at once, all today. So we'll share some of those with you as well. So we'll start with the first issue that we had, and it happened almost right away, and that's with the water. With the water, we were able to get it on in a matter of days, which was great because it allowed us to stay here and not have to, to use the bathroom, wash our hands, all those things. Yeah, for cleaning. So that was good. The problem is we first turned the water on, we did the first clean of the house, and then we left. And when we came back 2 days later, the neighbors informed us that there was like a water spot out in front in the courtyard that wasn't there before. They weren't sure if it was ours. We have confirmed that it is ours too. And also in the basement, we can see that there is some water leaking down in the basement. So that's our first major issue. Today, we came to meet a contractor or Idraulico to take a look. And, he was 2 hours late and didn't actually do anything because he's busy. So whatever. So these are the kinds of things that we just have to I kind of expected it, to be honest with you. So whatever. So anyways, he will come back another time, but at least, he showed up and we talked about a few things to get that resolved. We're not exactly sure what the real issue is, but he's going to look at it. So that's the first major issue. Hopefully it won't cost us too much, but to be expected in a 110-year-old house.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's talk about utilities. In the US, I'm used to just calling the utility company and saying, I will be in this house on this date, please turn the utilities on or off. And that's it. You have your contract and they will kind of flip a switch and that's it. Even in rural areas, I've purchased multiple homes in the US and I've never had many issues. Here, it's very different. My advice is if you're looking to buy a home here or you're under contract to buy a home, start looking for a provider right away. Call them, schedule an appointment, even if you don't own the home. At least start calling appointments, comparing prices as soon as possible because we didn't do that and it took us a few weeks. And to be honest with you, I feel lucky because it actually could have taken us a lot longer, but we have some fortunate circumstances that we'll talk about in a bit. But basically, try and get your utilities on as quick as possible. If you're fortunate enough to have a conversation or maybe even a relationship with the person that you're buying the house from, talk to them. Talk to them about their bills. Talk to them about who they went with, even though you don't have to go with their provider, and get as much information from them as possible or your notario or whoever before you buy the house so that you kind of have a bunch of numbers ready to go. We were fortunate where we met the owners of this house. Then we spoke to them after we bought the house. They gave us their number. So when we've had issues so far, we were able to call them and get some information that if we didn't have that, I think we probably still wouldn't have our utilities on yet. So we got fortunate in that. So hopefully, if you're buying a house, you can get all that information ahead of time.
I would like to say, speak with all the owner of house and ask if he close all the contracts because doing everything, doing all utilities, we discovered he didn't close contracts. He just turned out lights, turned off lights, gas, water, stopped to use. So we couldn't do new contracts because this new provider, this new supplier was saying to us, we can't do because you have active contract. So speak with who you can speak with all the owner. Do you close contracts or you just turn off?
And if they have closed the contract, get all of the numbers. So
yes, after this, very important to have numbers for gas, for electricity. This is a specific number. They names POD, PDR, and client code. So this is a important numbers. They permit you to make new contracts. This is like bureaucracy. And another part, make sure and find all these tools where you
The panels, like
Yes.
the electric panel and
there
the
you
gas.
close water, there you close gas, where you take numbers because you will need actually numbers of your consume.
Right. The consume, she means like the actual like meter number. You're going to need that
Yes,
information.
this is very important when you will go to make new contract.
Yeah, and this is just our experience. We don't know if you're having somebody represent you. They may get all this for you, but even if you're doing that, make sure that you ask them for those things because it's easy to forget things. But if you're doing this on your own, for sure, go to the house, find all of the panels, the control panels, where the water comes into the house. When we opened up the contract for the water, they just said, yeah, just go to the water contact and turn it on. And we didn't know. And it's actually not by our house. It's out into the street and we had to go and find it. So again, this was all after we bought the house. So just to save you some time and maybe some headache, try and get as much information about your utilities as possible beforehand. Another thing that you want to check with your utilities is this, because in the US, most of the plugs, if not all the plugs, are the same. And most people know that in Europe, the plugs are different, right? You need to get a different kind of plug. Here, I've learned that there are multiple types of plugs. And so can you go get the adapter?
Yes.
So the other thing too that was funny that we just laughed, we finally got the electricity on. When we came into the house, we turned the lights on. We were happy. We bought a vacuum cleaner so that we can start vacuuming now. And we brought a drill so we can start doing some work. And then we went to try and plug things in and we saw that it's, we saw this kind of plug. And to me, it's like, okay, it's a normal European plug. But some people probably already know this, especially if you're from Europe. But there's actually several different kinds. So there's this kind, which is, hold on, where is it? Okay, so there's this kind, which is what the house is full of, right? It has this plug. But what we actually need is this kind. No, that's the adapter.
Yes, this name is, who you know, this name is Shuko.
Shuko, yeah. So we really need Shuko. That's the more modern one, right?
Yes, this is for high power.
Right, for more power. So this is what the actual prong looks like, and then these ones are the smaller ones. And we had to actually go, I don't know why that's not focusing, but we had to go up. It's this funny story. This just makes me happy because, you know, the power of neighbor, right? So we also met another neighbor across the way. She actually happens to be from Moldavia, Moldavia, and speaks Russian. Lady right across the way from us happens to speak Russian. So we saw her, we said hi, good morning. And then when we were looking for these adapters so that we can actually use the plugs here, Elena was speaking to her in Italian, and she speaks Italian about these. Like, we need an adapter, and she didn't understand. And so then she said adapter in Russian.
Розетка. And she was like, yes.
She understood exactly where to take us. And we bought several adapters so that we can plug things in. Anyways, my point is also when you are looking at your house, if you're sure you're going to buy it, make sure you check the types of plugs that are in the house so that when you do first move in, you know, do I need adapters or not? And then, of course, if you want to update them, you can. Just another small piece of advice.
Yes.
On a much lighter note, while we were outside, the owner of a couple of houses, so he's our neighbor and he also owns a couple of houses in this area, saw us on the balcony and said hi to us and invited us over for coffee. That's an older couple and they were incredibly kind and sweet. So we went over, had coffee with them. We talked about some of the issues that we're having with the house. And what I love is like the community, because the previous owner of this house was actually born in this house. And our neighbor is in his 80s, and he was actually born in the house right across from us here. And it's amazing that the history of this area and this house and our neighbors are still here. And even though he's in his 80s, he is super sharp, super nice. And it was really, for me, it was a treat to meet and talk with him for a while.
Yes, this couple. And they wanted to give us for luck. Because in this area, it's very common to have in a garden
pomegranates,
and they gave us some free
from their garden.
Yes, for luck, like welcome, benvenuti, and to meet. Yes, they very good couple. And yes, we are lucky to have this nice neighbor.
So another thing that happened today that was for us exciting is that we did a few videos back. Last month, we went to something called the Palio di Asti, which is a horse race, and they have a big parade.
Yes, parade.
It's super old. It's like 700 years old. We talked about it in the video, and everybody was wearing these bandanas that were representing their different districts that they were in, because there's 21 districts that are in the race and in the parades. And we love them. They're very beautiful and colorful. And since we bought our house here, we were looking for ours, and we waited in line, and we found out that our particular district, they sold out of the bandanas. So we asked a couple weeks ago, we were asking around town, like, where do you get these? Where do you get these? And the lady that we get coffee from almost every day when we're here told us that she could get us some. And today they arrived. And so we're very happy. We finally have our bandanas, our little flags that represent our district. And so next year we will definitely be representing when we go to the Palio di Asti. So I was very happy that those also arrived today. So we met our neighbors. We got some pomegranates. One of our neighbors happens to speak Russian, which I think is amazing. And we got the electricity on. So despite the fact that, we found our first major problem, which is a couple big leaks in the house, it is what it is. And we're happy. We're really excited.
Yes. Every time we come here, every time we do a little step, something not very pleasure, something very excited, but it's always a interesting journey.
Yeah. All right, so now we'll talk about some of the first projects that we're going to work on. At least for me, we bought some tools and everything, and the shutters, most of the shutters in the house are kind of in bad condition, and I'm not sure how good you can see it, but this is one of the worst ones. I took it off of the room upstairs. It's in pretty bad condition, and we were talking about buying new ones, but I'm going to try and strip these and sand them down and just make them look good. I think we can salvage them. If not, we'll figure something out. But I want to see if I can salvage these. So project number one is take all the shutters down, strip them down, and just make them nice. And project number two is this railing. So obviously we have this really beautiful terrace, but this railing is just in bad condition. So I want to also strip all of this down. It's gonna be a long time, because this is a quite big terrace, which I'm really happy about. So this is definitely gonna take a while.
But we need to do this.
Yeah, we basically have to strip all this down and sand it all down, and then just repaint it and put some protective coats on there. But those are the two main things that we're gonna do right now. And then let's go upstairs.
Yes.
So the next big project that we can't do, I certainly can't do, is we want to have a bathroom up here in the main bedroom, the master bedroom. So we're already talking to contractors, and we want two major things that we want to do. One is that right now the house has radiators that operate off of electricity. So we want to get rid of those and have like central heating and cooling. So part of this first project is they're going to just get rid of all the radiators and install central heating and cooling off of one unit. And then the next thing is we want to install a bathroom up here. So there's a door on the other side of this of this armoire. And yeah, basically we want to put a bathroom. So have an entrance to the bathroom on the other side of the room, and then have like an entrance, like basically put a wall here, and then have an entrance to the bathroom from here and there.
Yes. Practically copy downstairs.
Yeah, so basically make the same kind of bathroom that's downstairs, make it the same size.
Yes. Above of exist bathroom, make new bathroom.
Right. So that's it for now. That's our first update. I hope some of these tips helped you. Like in the other video, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us. But we're looking forward to getting to work and providing more updates. A dopo.
A dopo, ciao.
Ciao.